Welcome back, family, to another episode of The Blind Hustle. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the myths about blind people. Um, what made me think about this was the other day, my pest control guy came over, and he actually thought I was sighted. I didn't have my sunglasses on. I was looking at him, and so he started asking me questions about the fact that I was visually impaired. So I thought about, I'm gonna put that in a video, because he had certain myths about me, but about blind people, and of course I had to kind of straighten him out. So let me give you a backstory about me. I haven't always been blind, as I said on another video about me. I've been blind for about 17 years. I lost my sight in 2005. And upon losing my sight, I never had any eye issues. The name of my eye disorder is called optic atrophy. Basically, what that means is it's kind of like the analogy of a car. You've got a battery in a car, and I have nerves that go from my brain to the optic of the eye, and that right there is severed. So it's basically like a car, brand new car with no battery. Same scenario. So again, I lost my sight back in 2005. I then went, upon losing my sight, I went to the Association for the Blind, went there for about a year and a half, and I graduated. Now, upon going to the School for the Blind, they taught me, little things, little techniques about, homemaker skills. They also gave me a tutorial of learning how to use the computer. Of course, I can type about, I think last time I was told it was like 90-something words a minute. So yeah, I'm pretty fluent with typing. So nevertheless, I graduated from the school. I then, of course, I was living here in Southeast Georgia. Eventually, I moved to Savannah so that I could pursue going to school to get my education, which I did. At the time, I had a partner who stood by me, helped me out a whole lot. Kudos to you, Jay. And again, so I went to Savannah Tech. Of course, I graduated with a degree in business management and a certificate in HR. So let's fast forward on down. So above my travels and being that I'm not able to see, people ask me questions like, who am I? If I want to tell people so bad, that is one of the worst things you can do to a blind person. Here we go with that myth again. People think that every blind person can see. I am here to tell you, every blind person cannot see. And I get it so much is, who am I? You know who this is? I get that a lot. If I can get a nickel for every time I've gotten that, I will be rich. But yeah, that's kind of rude. But I kind of go along with it, keeping that positive attitude. Sometimes I do know who the voices are, especially if they have a unique voice. I can kind of picture who it is, but again, I go through that through my travels every day is, who am I? Who is this? Do you know what voice this is? I bet you don't know who this is. I get it in all types of ways. They hit me with all that. By the way, share the video. Share the video. One more time, share the video. Okay, getting back to the story. So that's one myth, that all blind people can see, or all blind people know who you are. The second myth about blind people is that we know the difference between $100 bill, $20 bill, dollar bill, $50 bill, whatever the case, whatever the denomination may be. Let me tell you, that's a myth. Blind people do not know which denomination is which. All those bills are folded and crinkled all alike. Again, that's another myth. Blind people cannot detect which is a $100 bill from a dollar bill. I wish I could get more 100 bills, but nevertheless, I cannot tell which bill is which by the weight of the bill, by the crinkling of the bill, and so forth on. I can't tell. And I don't know any blind person that can do that. And if they can do that, they need to get in touch with me. So that's another myth. Another myth is people say that blind people can't cook. Or how do blind people cook? I'm going to actually have some days or there's going to be some days I have on the channel where I'm actually going to go in and cook some dishes. I've got to kind of get set up in there to do this. But let me assure you, blind people can cook. That is, if they were cooking before they lost their sight. Now me, I was cooking before I lost my sight. So when I lost my sight, I was still able to cook. I cook anything that you could possibly want. There's not a whole lot that I can't cook, but granted, I do have an assistant sometimes in there with me, whether it's my partner, whether it's a roommate, whether it's a friend, whether it's my videographer. Oh, somebody's in there that's going to help me prep. But yes, I can cook. Now, there we go again. You may say, how can a blind person cook? And they may not know what may fall over into the pot, such as a bug. Let me tell you, I have, like I said before about the Terminix guy, pest control. I have them here about every 2 to 3 weeks, making sure they eradicate bugs so that I don't take a chance in something falling over into the food. That's how we deal with that. So if you can see and you don't have any bugs crawling around, you know, same thing with a blind person. And like I say, but a lot of people just swear. They'll ask me, how can you cook and you can't see? I cook by feel, by smell, by timing, again, by memory. So I can cook just as good as the next person. But again, I may need an assistant to be there to kind of help me with the ingredients as far as mixing, adding. It just depends on what it is. And there are a lot of dishes that I can make solely by myself. Let's get into more myths. Blind people can't drive. That is true. Blind people can't drive. I don't care what they say. I don't know of any blind person that can drive. Although I've heard about a man that was a pilot that went around some continent in his airplane and he couldn't see. Again, I didn't read much about it, but I did hear that. But there are so many things, you guys, that blind people can do. So the next time you see a blind person and you think, you know, they sit in the house and just sit in darkness, again, that's another myth. I don't see black. You know, I see shapes, I see colors, I see shadows. If you turn the light on in the room while I'm asleep, I'm going to tell you to turn it off. Yeah, because I still can see light. So that's another myth. All blind people who are blind see total darkness. That is not always the case. And you can't put every blind person with different degrees of blindness all in the same bucket. As I said before earlier in the video, I lost my sight when I was 30 years old. Before losing my sight, I was a hairdresser. I was going to school to banking and finance, maintain a household and all that good stuff. But again, before losing my sight for the age of 30, I was just like any and everybody else. And after losing my sight, I'm still just like any and everybody else. Trust me, my family does not treat me like an invalid. My family doesn't treat me as a handicap. My family treats me just as if I was sighted. And let me tell you, to any person that's handicapped, they really appreciate that. Because no matter what their ailment, as far as their physical limitations are, they just want to be treated just like anybody else. And granted, we have our days, and when I say we, I mean people that are handicapped or have a physical limitation. You know, not every day is going to be a beautiful sunny day. Just like today. It's real gloomy down here today, as you all can see. No sun, it's kind of chilly out here. But nevertheless, by the way, share the video. Share the video. I can't enforce that enough. Share the video. So yeah, so again, as far as me and my handicap, my disability, I just don't let it kind of control me. You know, I control it. So again, so this was a good video today, talking about different myths about blind people. I told you a little bit about me and my situation. Not everybody's situation is the same. Again, I run a homestead back there. I enjoy doing it. Of course, I do have assistants on some days. Some days I don't. But those animals still got to get fed. They still got to get fed. They still got to get water. They still got to get seeded about. That's just all to it. So I want to tell you guys to like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you would like to be a financial blessing to me, my Cash App is in the description. Leave comments. I will truly do my best to answer all comments. I'm also on TikTok, The Blind Hustle, and I thank you guys so much. So good things are coming your way. Y'all be good.